Assalamu alaikum, Sasso here, and welcome to the next session of the Purpose Program. And this one is called Finalizing Your Purpose Statement. So let's get started. So, what we're going to cover is simplifying everything, then breaking down each segment, framing the output, and then ending with your purpose statement. So, let's simplify everything. So I'm starting off with this quote: "Your highest point, your peaks in life, and if you're blessed of having experiences of profound significance in your life, you'll know what I'm talking about. The peak points in life are not sensory experiences; they're experiences of meaning, of discovery, of understanding, of cognitive awareness. And when you realize in truth that is Allah behind this entire universe." Sheikh Hamza Yusuf. So the reason for sharing that quote to start off with is just because um, hopefully you're getting to that stage where you're having one of these experiences. You're actually having a experience of discovery, of understanding, of meaning. That okay, this is actually what I'm here for, and this is what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, and all these things. The I read somewhere that the root word for ecstasy and it derives from the root word for discovery in Arabic. Right, so it's interesting. Yeah, this ecstasy is this amazing kind of feeling, um, and discovery comes out from that same thing. So this is the point that I'm saying here, that by the end of this session, inshallah, you'll have complete clarity on this point, on what is the actual purpose. So let's simplify everything. So the worksheet 23, so the last one, the last worksheet for the last session is critical to this process, right? So that is, it's quite long, but it's designed for you to do a lot of brainstorming, do all your thinking on, etc. Right? Because that's where your working out is going to happen. So if you're struggling with it or you haven't completed it yet, what you can do is you can actually watch today's video, because what it will help you do is to understand the context, and maybe it will simplify it a little bit further for you. So today's session is a very short session and it's focused on one thing. Let's articulate once and for all what your purpose going forward is going to be. By the end of today, you will not only know your mission in life, uh, who you're here to serve, what your unique ability is, how you're going to serve them, and what you're going to earn from this. You'll also be able to articulate it in a simple sentence, as I mentioned. So, why is it important to get this right? The main reason is this: is that remember that what this is all about is for you to find out what your service is going to be, and we need to ensure that the service you're going to do is from your heart. And because the reason for that is because service from your heart is very different to any other type of service. So any type of service from the head or from yourself. Because true service, when you're really in that element, really in the moment, feels light, it feels joyful, it feels gracious towards the receiver, and it's regenerative for the giver. As in, it regenerate you and energize you. But false service, or service not with that's fully aligned, it's quite heavy, it's guilt ridden, it's debt laden for the receiver, and it's consumptive for the giver. It drains you. Essentially, that's what we're saying. With the right type of service will energize you, the other will drain you. There's a global poll conducted by Gallup in 2019 that uncovered that out of the world's 1 billion full-time workers, only 15% of people are engaged at work. So that means an astronomical 85% of people are unhappy in their jobs. Unhappy in their jobs, right? So, but here's the difference. Now, what you have done now, by getting to this stage of the program, you've done something that most of those 1 billion workers have not done. You've actually gotten to know yourself. You understood the kind of work that you want to do. That's most aligned with your fitrah. That's most aligned with the mission, the difference you want to make in the world, and what you're really good at, what you love, what you're passionate about, and why Allah created you. So you've got all of this amazing data, so you can be sure that what comes out of all this is exactly what you should be doing. So let's do this. So obviously you've seen this model plenty of times now. What we're going to do in the next section is just to break them down even further, right? So hopefully the last session did explain it but I'm going to try and simplify it even further. So mission. So I'm hoping that you have a clear idea now what your mission is, or at least that it's in the right kind of area. So don't worry if you can't articulate it in a sentence. That you might think, okay, yeah, I want to do something like justice and justice for, these kind of people or something. Um, but you haven't been able to articulate it in a sentence yet. Don't worry too much about making it sound good. We just need to know the kind of area that you're passionate about, the kind of world that you want to see. So, so you should know by now of a specific cause that best describes why God placed you here and what kind of service He wants from you. So to keep it simple, if you're struggling, what you can put down here is your why statement, the one that you came up with in sort of on day 21. Right, so you look at worksheet 21, look at the why statement. If you haven't got anything yet, just put that down because that is in the ballpark. So this should also be clear by now. So what specific group of people do you want to serve the most? And for this group of people, what problem do they specifically have which falls within your mission and that you want to solve? Right. So you can see if it was as simple as figure out a group of people and solve their problem, like that could be anything, right? But what we've just put a few boundaries or constraints here. The first one is that does it fall within your mission? Because no point if it doesn't, right? So does it fall within what your mission is? And then if it does, then is it a problem you really, really want to solve? Right? So these are the two things here. Then the next thing, Spark, what are you really good at, what you're really passionate about? Right? So again, I'm just simplifying the language as well, so you're very clear what this refers to. So from all the things that you brainstormed in the previous session, what one thing is the type of work which falls within your divine spark and that you'd be happy doing that work forever, and you can work on to solve the problem that's highlighted in number 2. So again, as you can see, there's a few just different constraints here. So first of all, there's loads of different ways of potentially solving the problem through different types of work. What one thing is falls within your divine spark, i.e. it's something that you're good at, you're passionate about. Secondly, it solves the problem. And thirdly, would you want to, you would be happy to do and you would want to do and stuff. Well, because it's part of your divine spark, you should be able to, you should want to do that anyway. But so the key thing here is it should only be one thing to start off with. Focus on the one thing that stands out the most. That I can use this method to be able to solve the problem for these people, and it fits within your area of expertise. Then the fifth thing is that if you do the chosen work that you highlighted in number 4, what is the best way you can earn a living from it? Right. So whatever thing is, more often than not, if it's a type of work that is adding value to people, you may find that this is the way I can just monetize this actual thing that I'm doing. So I'm creating this solution for this particular type of person, and they'll be willing to pay you for it. But the reason I've worded it in this way is that in case it's more to do with something that you can't really monetize, or something to do with serving family or serving other people voluntarily, then what's the best way you can earn a living? Because that way that will allow you to continue to be able to work on your purpose and still live. And then that means that your job that you're doing, it becomes a means to be able for you to live your purpose. So you understand why you're doing that job, and it's just a means for you to be able to live your true purpose. Okay, so that hopefully simplifies it even further. Now let's frame the output, or in a way that is easy to understand. So a simple way to frame the output: I believe that Allah wants me to work towards a world where, and then your mission, whatever your mission is. I will do this by doing or being or creating, or you can get rid of any of those words or you can add your own, by the X type of work, whatever the labor was, for this group of people. and then you can even add the problem on there as well. So you can say that. So for you know overweight Muslims who feel uh, a lack of energy, and if that's what it is, for example. I've chosen this because what makes me unique and able to excel in this field is and then whatever your divine spark is, you write that down. This is important and valuable work that people would be willing to pay for or support me to deliver. I will be able to monetize this by, and then articulate how you're going to monetize it. So these 4 sentences hopefully help you just to extract it from within, and all the brainstorming and all the elements can essentially go into this so it all kind of starts to make sense. So let me give you an example. So I'll give you my own example, my version. So I believe Allah wants me to work towards a world experiencing a second golden age of Islam, where Muslims are leading the way in intellect, innovation, and impact. Right. So you can see here a world where, toward a world where, and then mission. Right. So mine is a world where experiencing second golden age of Islam, where Muslims are leading the way in intellect, innovation, and impact. I will do this by being a writer, thinker, educator for Muslim professionals to help them fulfill their potential. Right, so you can again very clear. My labor is being a writer, thinker, educator, and then my people are Muslim professionals. Yeah, I've chosen this because what makes me unique and able to excel in this field is, and then my ability to write creatively, think critically, and connect the dots. So that's my divine spark. This is important and valuable work that people will be willing to pay for. I will be able to monetize this by putting together empowering educational programs, services, and experiences. So you can see now, it's very, very clear what I want to do, who I want to do it for, how I'm going to do it, and why I'm doing it. Sure. So hopefully that's very clear, and this worksheet will has got this kind of framework in there, so you'll be able to put it all in, inshallah. So now we want to take this basis and simplify it even further. So now let's simplify that into a single sentence. So my purpose in life, so let's do it for me first, because we just had that example. So my purpose in life is serving Muslim professionals to find their purpose and fulfill their potential in order to bring about a second golden age of Islam. That's it. Very, very simple. So what you'll notice here, a couple of things. I don't have the divine spark in there because I don't need to articulate that because I know what that is. Right? I know how I'm going to do it. I don't also have the. So I've got the mission in there. I've got the people in there and the problem. I don't have how I'm going to monetize it or anything like that, because again, that's all implied. That's all that's all knowledge I have when I take action on it. But if I was just to articulate it in a sentence, or if I was at a lift or at a party and I think, oh, what are you trying to do, or what do you do? I've got something that I can say now. Right. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me just repeat it. So my purpose in life is to serve Muslim professionals to find their purpose and fulfill their potential in order to bring about a second golden age of Islam. Right, and then I would be able to expand on that. Oh, that's amazing. How do you do that? Well, I do X, Y, Z. Blah blah blah. Yeah. So let's now do the same for you. So to again break it down into a kind of a templated form. Your purpose in life is serving your chosen people to whatever their solution to their problem is, in order to overall mission. So serving your chosen people to whatever the solution to their problem is, in order to. So that's the format to articulate this in. So that's it for this one. So action items are to complete worksheet 24 on your purpose statement, and the final thing I'll end on is fret not where the road will take you. Instead, concentrate on the first step. That is the hardest part, and that is what you're responsible for. Once you take that step, let everything do what it naturally does, and the rest will follow. Don't go with the flow, be the flow. That was by Rumi. So as you can see now, now that you've kind of got your purpose statement, so you might think, okay, what now? Right? So don't worry too much about what's going to come. This is the first step, right? Let's get this purpose statement nailed, and inshallah, yeah, that's what you're responsible for right now. And like, you can. This is the way you're gonna be the flow, inshallah. So that's it for this one, and I'll see you on the next one.